He's a bum!
Morning, dum-dum.
I need first aid.
If you shot a
Bitch, I did the race.
Would you smash Zaya Wade?
Party with
think this is funny?
You can say SGA, PGA, USA. Look at this.
Hell no.
Rose gold seat on a fucking helicopter, double C, no Chanel, cause she's bad, bad, bad.
The best player in this series with LeBron and Luka on the basketball court is a 23-year-old playing like he broke.
The fans have spoken. NBA playoff basketball is here at long last, and Ja Morant is still chatting, with a bit more validity this time. Aside from Cleveland unsurprisingly sweeping the Heat, and the newly figured out OKC doing the same to Memphis, games have been nothing short but exciting thus far, with a few disappointing series in Milwaukee and honestly the Rockets. Teams that were put on a pedestal throughout the season are now facing some adversity. It's almost like there's elevated competition and organizations are playing for this shiny thing, which we think can just be won by anyone nowadays, no matter how ridiculous. There aren't many more difficult feats than being an NBA fan right now. I had to sit through months of scrolling online, learning a new rhyme every single day. That just couldn't have been farther from the truth. Like, what did you think was gonna happen? Today we're gonna talk about how NBA viewers and their analysts have gotten out of control, reiterating some of the historical trades that have happened far too recently and how they're panning out on the biggest stage. Also, I will briefly share my thoughts on the first round matchups we are seeing today. This all started with the Luka Doncic Anthony Davis blockbuster trade. When this first dropped, the magnitude of two top 10 players in the world being moved, no one has ever seen anything like it. Why would the Mavs not even shop around the league but were so certain they had their guy in AD, who has played a total of 9 games for them? The Nico Harrison said himself, defense wins championships, which isn't looking all that bad given from what we've seen transpire. With that being said, still doesn't make sense to most, understandably so, and I don't think anyone involved wanted this to happen. Initially held off on making a video breakdown because we needed to see it all unfold to fully understand every angle. I'm not gonna lie to you though, when this first took place, the Lakers were looking good. Hell, I even hit the fattest parlay of my damn life on them. It seemed JJ Redick helped figure out how Bron and Luka could coexist with an absolute stud in Austin Reeves. But then this was said. One of the most regretful statements that first started as a headline became a worldwide phenomenon. I get it, most of these edits were just for entertainment and we all wanted to be a part of it, but unfortunately we live in a world where even your granny could lay eyes on this propaganda. Anthony Davis, quote, got smoked by Luka in 5 last year, so did you really think he was gonna be smoked by Luka in 5 again? Guys, let's be realistic. Yes, the T-Wolves lost Cat and were not favored to win this series by any means. But if you look past the cover page, this team is deeper and more experienced from last year, coming off a conference finals appearance. However, I don't think much of this is the Lakers' fault. Other than game 1, this series has been close with a lot of X's and O's. Jalen McDaniels and the T-Wolves collectively have been able to take advantage of their size and length to answer whatever LA has ran. Vintage LeBron, supporting cast turning it on, doesn't really affect the outcome. Julius Randle has completely gotten rid of the bad playoff performer narrative. Rudy Gobert, well, not so much. But this is fine because there really isn't a center on the other team. And something I didn't think I would ever see, but it's just more and more obvious when you stare it in the face, is Chris Finch outcoaching JJ Redick. I love JJ and I think he has turned this Lakers team into a legit contender in the West, but we have to remember experience is a factor. And the T-Wolves have been here before with this exact dynamic. The playoffs, as we all know, are about matchups. Reality is they match up and have played better in these first 4 games. Not gonna go as far and say the series is over, but projecting Lakers in 5 the way it was said, they better find a way to come back, that's all I'm saying. Quite ironic how Shannon Sharpe has stepped away from ESPN in the midst of this. On a bigger note, sports athletes don't really have the luxury to move in silence anymore. We always have a problem with somebody, and this makes players trying to build a legacy or their trophy case infinitely harder. Is Anthony Edwards a great player with all the qualities to be the next face of the NBA? Yes. But is he the only player that is playing to this caliber at age 23? Absolutely not. In fact, 2 of his opponents have put up way better statistics and campaigns before this age, not to mention the guy who he swept last year. So it really goes both ways. The recency bias is at an all-time high, but will be even quicker to tear them down. There is a reason that predominant basketball enthusiasts have not uploaded title predictions or legacy kickers for this postseason. One is they know as well as I do, no matter what they say, people are going to have something negative about it and not really listen to the analysis, which they have spent years developing. Number 2 is the league is very uncertain right now, and players could see any given headline and jump to go out of their comfort zones. The league isn't predicated around big threes and star power, but more the idea of complete team basketball, eliminating any mismatch you may have on the floor. This is why the Suns and ultimately the 76ers are in serious trouble for their future operations, and it will be interesting to see what they do this offseason. Golden State has seemed to be the monopoly right now, where they have traded for a 3rd star and have excelled, but they also have Stephen Curry. So it's hard to say what they can do in the grand scheme. They even won without Jimmy in Game 3, so I don't really have any doubts with them cleaning up in Game 5 against a bunch of will they score above 10-point players or not Houston possesses. Don't get me wrong, it's not just the Lakers. The Clippers and Knicks were 2 of the most hyped up teams going into the playoffs. Even against a former champion in Denver, people wrote them off because their coach was fired a week before the playoffs. The Knicks could easily be down 3-2 in the series right now, but if it wasn't for the lack of playoff experience, which has kicked in at times for Detroit, that 21-0 run in Game 1 was crazy. They have performed very well, and whatever happens, should be proud of the redemption arc this season, with Cade leading the way. Boston did take care of business against Orlando in 5, with Banchero and Franz both playing amazing, matching the forward height of the Celtics to put up a valiant effort in a few of those games. The East, I think, will be a tougher conference to call and could very well come out on top once again this year. Game 5s and 6s do start tomorrow for when I'm recording this. I didn't want to go too much in depth as a lot needs to transpire for us to really further understand the playoff environment this year, because it does feel like something is missing. For all the people who have been loud in 2025 with their platforms, it is no secret viewer levels in the NBA this year have gone down, which has fans voicing their opinion about the playoffs on how we have lost that nostalgia it once had. It could also be the large sum of players who have shaped the decade, straining whatever they have left to give for their careers. Who will have that legacy defining milestone? We shall soon see. Appreciate you guys watching this video. Let me know in the comments your takes in the playoffs and who you think will win. The Lakers, I guess, could come back in 7. I mean, LeBron has done it before. Leave a like and subscribe if you're new, but otherwise I'm out. Peace.